All right, folks, I just shot this video with a guy trying to seek some direction for US Socom. Boy, that's an awful big bubble to try to figure out what you want to do in. You want to be a Navy SEAL, Army Ranger, Green Beret, PJ. You want to be a MARSOC Marine. I know this, though. You better be comfortable out in the woods. A lot of these cats, they just ain't comfortable in the woods, man. Hope you enjoy this one. A little bit more dialed back, just trying to answer some questions for the young man. Thought it'd be helpful for a lot of people to hear kind of my logic. There's some gems in here about dang Navy SEALs and SOCOM in general. Hope y'all doing well, man. As always, smash the subscribe button. Make sure you click on them notifications so you can get that little bell when I pop something new. And enjoy this bad boy because we're building champions for life. Right. What you got, big dog? So you trying to figure out whether you want to go SOCOM, what route, right? Like, what's your thought process?
Well, I graduate in 2 more semesters from U of L. And up to this point, I've been pre-med, kind of been considering being a doctor and everything, but I've always kind of not really fit the pre-med mold, more interested in, maybe going SOCOM route or, I want to see combat, so.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Where are you going to go to see combat?
I mean, I just figured SOCOM would be more inclined to see combat. I know I don't want to just like train on a base for 10 years or so.
Okay, so let me ask you that again. Where are you going to see combat at?
I'm not sure. Wherever it is, I guess.
That's what I'm asking you. There is none. So I don't care. I don't care if you go to fucking Sisters of the Poor. It's gonna be really hard to get into combat when we ain't got no combat going on. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I can't really say it any clearer than that. We ain't at war nowhere. So unless you're a tier 1 operator, like you ain't going to pop nobody right now. The Rangers flew over and did Afghanistan for a hot second. That was it. That can't be your sole factor for wanting to go in because there ain't no war going on.
Is that not a good reason to go in?
I'm not going to answer like that foolish ass question. But like, if you go in strictly to go to war and there's no war going on, I don't know what to tell you, bro. It sounds like to me you're going to be heartbroken for most of your time in the military. And so you a smart dude.
You could go back and do it, but I mean, it wouldn't be war times. Would you go back and still do it?
I did do it. I did do it during non-war time. I went in 97 and I got out in 01.
Oh, you were right before it, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I was pissed when it came time to, when I got the phone call to go back in, I wasn't feeling it. So I didn't go back in. Now, that's my biggest regret, but at the end of the day, I got 3 kids sitting over here eating dinner right now, and I got a wife that ain't left me yet. I wouldn't have none of that if I had taken that phone call and went back in on September 12th. I wouldn't have nothing. I'd have great stories, probably be super fucked up, and it would have been good. I can't tell you where my life would be right there. I know I'm doing pretty damn good right now. So, like, if you pre-med, like, I mean, I don't know, brother. Like, you gotta want to go kick ass for the red, white, and blue. And it can't matter whether we at war or not. Because, I mean, unless Russia pops off, this Ukraine craziness, which, let me tell you something. I've been alive for 50 years. I have yet to see a war coming. Have yet to. In June, I was telling cats on Wall Street, listen, man, why are you getting out? Look, man, I don't see no wars on the horizon. I'm tired of being in here. Been in like 4 years now, and it's just getting old, man. Training's getting old, okay? And then literally like 3 months later, the biggest war that we've ever had pops off. So I can't help you with that. But if that's your sole reason for going in, you probably not going to do too well.
Well, I think that's what I meant, like, serving my country, but not just sitting on base necessarily. And I feel like, the more effort I put into it now, maybe getting on the top tier, like maybe PJ, I might be able to, serve in a higher capacity, like be a little bit more hands-on than just getting trained for the rest of my life. Do you know what I'm saying?
Ain't no war going on, dude. That's like saying, hey, I'm gonna be a firefighter, but there ain't no fires to put out. You're gonna do a lot of training, you know.
So what do you think a lot of the good motivation for guys is, if not, you know, where I'm coming from?
They grew up fighting and they just want to go fight. They grew up on a farm working their ass off every day, and they don't want to get up at 4 a.m. every day and fucking milk cows and fucking shovel shit, right? They don't have a lot of options. Okay, they're not sitting in college right now getting a pre-med degree, and they just decide on a fucking wild hair that they want to go work at Socom, right? They enjoy, you know, jujitsu and the struggles and pain and hardship, you know, like they're trying to better their lives. They're trying to get out of a situation. They're trying to go do something special. Like all of those seem like good motivations to me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could go PJ if you want. Like I always tell everybody, if you pre-med or something, you go do PJ. You know, there's a bunch of different things you can go do. There's a tier 1 medical unit at Bragg. You know, I got a couple kids headed that way. You know, you can go in the military, be a PA. You know, you can go Army Ranger, Green Beret PA. Really, the Green Berets got the PAs. But I mean, if you're trying to go do medical stuff and do the other stuff, then the good thing is in the medical community, when you go in SOCOM, you get to go play in the hospital every 6 months, every 3 months. You want to go play in the hospital all the time and do, you know, gunshots and stuff like that, they'll let you do it. But as far as like going bang, bang, you probably right now, 2022, you got 2 years of college left or 2 semesters?
2 semesters.
2 semesters. So you probably at least 4 years from even being in a situation, really 5, before you could actually get there. And that's a lot. That takes a lot of motivation to get through those 5 years if all you want to do is go to combat. Ain't no combat going on.
So do you think it'd be even with no war going on, like do you think it'd still be fulfilling? Like was it fulfilling?
I mean, listen, bro, only you can answer that question. I always say it was the best job in the world. It was the best job in the world. It just has a finite lifespan, man. Mm-hmm. It's not a job you can do forever. But yeah, in my opinion, it was the best job in the world. But I was an officer. I was in charge, right? Like, it was super awesome. It was hard. Every day was a challenge. You working with some of the best people in the world. You know, it's just good. But like, only you can answer those questions. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't answer those questions for you.
As far as general direction, if it is what I decide that I want to do 100% and not be a doctor, would you say PJ would be the best, you know, fit for me?
No, I mean, I don't know you. Like, what do you want to do? You want to go continue doing medicine, or you just want to be a bang bang guy?
Well, I feel like my background thus far has kind of prepared me mainly on the medical side. But the other part of me is like, you know, I don't just want to work in a hospital. You know, I want to serve.
People and doctors work in fucking hospitals, bud. Like, that's what they do, right? Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
The military,
huh?
So the PJ is going to spend a lot of time in the hospital.
I'm not going to go out of my neck and say they spend a lot of time in the hospital, but I know the medics for the SEALs spend a lot of time in the hospital. And when I say a lot, I don't mean months. I mean like every 6 weeks they going up for training. They going to do stuff. They always in the training, always. You know, so I would say you're going to spend more time in the hospital in a level 1 trauma facility than you are. You know, it just depends, man. The PJs are doing the same shit though. Everybody is. All the military dudes spend a ton of time. The medics that are good are spending a lot of time in the hospital. And they do a lot. Their training is so much like more robust than everybody else's. So that's
so
what
as far as the pipeline, would I apply, you know, after I graduate, or should I start applying now? Is it a long process or? So
listen, man, I'm gonna say this again. You haven't said what you want to do, right?
Well, I see a lot of your videos.
SEALs, you gotta apply. SEALs, you gotta apply next week. Mm-hmm. You ain't gonna get your package done. Green Berets, Army, Army, you can't even, like, if you're going to go enlisted, then you go Army, you can probably do that in 6 months. Air Force PJ is probably going to take you 2 years, at least 1.5 years, because you got to be in great physical condition. You got to be really good. And it's a long, like the pipeline is long. You're not just going to jump into PJs. They don't take very many PJs a year. It's hard to get into training in the PJs. Really hard.
Were you saying for the PJs, it would take 2 years to initiate the process, or 2 years for the pipeline to, to go all the way through it?
No. Probably a solid 1.5 years just to get there. Because can you run sub 9-minute mile right now? 1.5 miles?
No.
Can you swim a sub 9-minute 500?
No. Okay,
so then you probably 6 months away, 7 to 8 months away from doing that. And then you still got, a 1.5 years process to get into the PJs. Like if you thought it was hard to be a Navy SEAL, go try to be a PJ. Because they only have, I want to say it's like 180 PJs in the whole Air Force. And that's why, like, you got to figure out what you want to do. Do you want to carry a gun? Do you want to be an officer? You going to go in the Army? You go infantry? You could do that in 6 months. 6 months from now, you could be an infantry officer, go into basic training, and then you go to OCS, and then you'll spend the next 3 years in training, and you'll finally get to your company.
I saw like a few videos on your account of just kind of guys, maybe like a tennis player or something, who are kind of in my shoes, and they didn't really know which route they wanted to go. And I guess I should have established that, where I'm not really sure exactly what I want. I just know I want to go. I want to be an officer, and I want to go, like, a step above.
So then I would just tell you, go in the Army as an infantry officer. Like, don't make it hard. My 2 dudes that are Army infantry officers right now, one of them's going Green Berets, PA. The other one is probably going to try to go to RAS, go to Ranger Bat. I haven't talked to him. He was going to be the general's aide. So I wasn't quite sure exactly where he was going, because he had to go be a general's aide for a year. Okay. But both of them just went in the Army, infantry, do good, kick butt. Both of them dudes finished first in OCS, first in basic. So, like, that's all I'm saying to you. Like, if you don't have much direction, like, you can't go wrong going to be an infantry officer in the Army. The skills you're going to learn are going to help you for the rest of your life in leadership, people skills, all of the stuff that you need to be really successful in life, you're going to get dealing with a bunch of 18 to 23-year-old knuckleheads in your first platoon. But if you're trying to go do all this Gucci shit, then you got a whole different ball of wax. The thing about going in the Army, if you decide, hey, man, I do want to go do that stuff, it's right there in front of you. If you go in the Navy or you go in the Air Force as a crow, there's only like 30 crows in the Navy. It's almost impossible to go do, only 30 crows in the Air Force. It's almost impossible to do it. Like, you thought, like, that's what I said, you think it's hard to go be a Navy SEAL? Go try to get in the damn crow pipeline or the PJ pipeline. Try to go get in that pipeline. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. So then, like, what's like a green flag for you? Someone who you say that's a great reason for wanting to go Socom, as opposed to that's just, a regular reason for going, officer, just in the Army.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you my $20 question, bro. Okay. When's the last time you've been in a fist fight?
It's been over 2 years or 3
Over
years.
2 years. Who'd you get in a fist fight with?
This kid, it was in middle school. So
middle school. How long ago was middle school?
Like 7 years ago. 7
years ago. Okay. So then I would just ask you, do you really want to fight every day? Like, is that who you are? A lot of people don't like the way I say it, but, like, bro, at the end of the day, man, like, you going to work with a bunch of fucking savages. And if you're not capable of that savagery, then it's going to be a rough existence for you. Really rough. Socom is full of fire-breathing dragons right now. Full. Okay? And if you mess up, you will get the shit slapped out of you. And if you're not capable of rebuttal for getting the shit slapped out of you, you're going to have a really, really hard time. And that's what people don't understand. You managing convicts in Socom. Convicts. Trained serial killers. Okay? And everybody thinks it's some fucking hunky-dory show. And I tell them, like, look, okay, the biggest shock that all my new guys have when they get in the SEAL teams, in the Ranger Bat, in damn Green Berets, is I try to explain to them they are going to be managing serial killers. And the first phone call I get, all of them have made the same phone call. Holy shit, Jake, you weren't lying. All my officers say the same thing. Man, shit. They call, hey, man, what do I do in this situation? What do you think I'm going to say do in this situation? Man, I got to take them out back. Yo, okay. Because there's a level of fucking savagery. Like people just don't understand the level of savagery that's going on right now in U.S. Socom. So you got cats that have been in for 20 years of combat in charge now. The level of savagery is not going down for probably the next 10 years, probably, would be my guess. Because you still got guys that came in 2011 who had 3, 4, 5 combat deployments, who are still 29 years old and will still be around for another 15 years in the military. Okay, it ain't much different than when I got in 1990 and we still have Vietnam dudes rolling around. Vietnam dudes was different than everybody else was. And then by the time I got in the SEAL teams, most of the Vietnam dudes had rolled out, but the ones that we still had were fucking out of their minds. And that's hard on a lot of people, man. Little genteel people, it's hard to work in that environment, brother. It's hard.
Were you being literal when you said convicts?
Absolutely.
I figured they wouldn't, there's not a background check.
Hey man, let me ask you this. What's the difference between a man that kills somebody and goes to prison or a man that kills somebody and flies home after killing them on a military airplane? What's the difference?
I guess one believes it's justified by,
But what's the difference?
I guess, there's no difference physically.
There is no fucking difference. See, that's that fucking stupid shit from this generation. Like your generation just has this fucking misgivings about what the fucking job really is, man. Like, bro, you running a bunch of convicts, man. You're not even a prison guard. You one of the convicts. You in there. You in charge of 16 hardened killers. And people can say what they want about how nice they are and all this other shit. Like psychologically, you dealing with maniacs. And so if you're not capable of that kind of behavior, it's really hard for you to be successful in the environment. And see, that's where a lot of you guys look at shit. You watch all these videos. You see Jocko and David Goggins and Marcus Luttrell and all these dudes. And you're like, oh man, I want to be that dude. Okay. But behind the closed door in the dark, that dude will cause you to commit suicide. And that's what y'all don't understand, man. And that's why I say, like, if you a genteel dude, you want to go into medical practice, you want to do all that stuff, fine, go do it. Okay. But don't think you're going to go into Socom and have some cherry ass existence. You're going to struggle mightily. Everybody I know that was a genteel dude in the SEAL teams, officers, they struggled. They didn't do great.
So you think that Socom is mainly for mentally unstable people? Is that what you mean?
And I wouldn't say mentally unstable. I would say fucking savages. They'd be mentally unstable to you, okay? To the normal person on the street, they'd shit their pants if they had to ride in a cab with them dudes, okay? But to everybody else, that's what it takes to do the job. And that's what people don't understand. That's what people are missing when they start talking about, I want to be in Socom. I want to be a Navy SEAL. I want to be a Green Beret. Okay. I tell people, man, first time you step in that community, man, it's 6 months, man. It's just like walking into prison, bro. Just like walking into prison, because everybody eyeing you up like you the next meal. And if you can't adapt to that and you can't grow and you can't fight through all that fear, not going to do well.
So you think going regular Army or regular Navy as an officer be a better way to get adjusted to that atmosphere potentially, if that's something I still want to do?
I would say you go regular Army, do not go regular Navy. Because if you go regular Navy, you'll never make it to the SEAL community. You'll never make it to special operations, ever.
What about regular Air Force officer?
You'll never make it to special operations. Community is too small in the Air Force and the Navy for you to go to the Navy first and then go. It's too small. Army, you can do it all day. Army got 100,000 Special Forces dudes. Navy got 2,500 plus maybe a 500 EOD deal. And the Air Force got, 200 crows and stoves. They got CCT guys and stuff like that. But I guarantee you, Air Force and Special Operations, when you cut out, the 160th in their aviation division, it's probably only maybe 1,000 people, maybe less than that. It's really small in the Air Force. So like, if you're trying to figure it out, bud, like I don't even know, I don't know where to tell you where to start, but like, how much camping have you done?
Not a ton.
Okay, so here's what I'm gonna tell you. For the next 3 months, I want you to go spend a night in the woods every Friday or Saturday night, and you'll know in a month from now. I don't care if it's raining. You go out in the woods for a night every weekend for the next 2-3 months, because you never even been in the environment that you talking about going to. Okay. Mm-hmm. Did you listen to my video about the crack pipe the other day?
The crack pipe?
Yeah. Did you see the video that I was talking to the kid about? I told him he was smoking a crack pipe. He had no delusional, that just straight delusional visions of what he was going to do. Mm-hmm. Okay. Huh?
I didn't see that.
Yeah. I went yard on kid because he was just out in left field. Mm-hmm. So I tell everybody the same thing, man. You ain't spent no time in the woods. You got this vision in your head of what you think it is or what you think you believe it could be. And it can't be any farther from the truth because you have nothing rooted in it, right? If you told me you go camping every day, you love being outside, you love being in the rain, you love being cold, then I would say, okay, cool, take a shot. But my concern with you is you got no idea what you're getting into. You're not a big camper. You don't spend a lot of time out in the woods. I had a young person that wanted to be a SEAL, and up and down, want to be a SEAL. She went camping. Came back, said, oh my God, I hated it, Jake. I hated the bugs. I hated the dirt. Okay. You ain't built for that life. Okay. So you got to do some soul searching in yourself. I would tell you to start with the woods, brother. Like, stop watching videos, go outside and see what it's like to actually be out in the woods. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, I don't know what you expect. I'm not Notre Dame, right? Like I can't look into your brain and figure out what's best for you. But I know right now, nothing you have said is telling me to go look at you. Like, hey man, go enjoy Socom, brother. Okay. Mm-hmm. And I'm not trying to be discouraging. I'm just saying you don't have any of the background traits that I'm gonna look for when I'm looking for somebody to go into that line of work. And the reason I say that is because like the level of grit it has to already been kind of ingrained in you is massive. What kind of questions you got?
Not a ton come to mind. I guess I just had thought maybe more initially that, you wouldn't have already like kind of expected that as a college student that, I would already be like a fist fighter or, do you think, basically anybody who's not crazy, who comes out of college, who just has a hard work ethic, you think they'll just never make it in SOCOM?
I'm not going to say never make it. I'm going to say the chances are really slim that they make it. Like so here's the deal. You talk about SOCOM, but I don't know if you get through training. I don't know if you ever even get to SOCOM. That's what I'm trying to say to you. Mm-hmm. You're really smart, correct? Intellectual people in the SEAL team struggle in SOCOM because there's a lot of fucking breaking rocks and they struggle because they're always trying to find a solution to shit when a lot of times you just got to keep swinging the rock or the hammer and breaking the rock. Okay. Now, some of the smartest people I know were in the SEAL teams. Functionally smart are in the SEAL teams. But that's different than being book smart, going to college, having great grades, and going to be a doctor. The people with grades and book smarts like that, in my opinion, I've seen they struggle because they're not able to cut out the logic and the smarts when they need to be successful.
I would say thank you for keeping it real. I think if anything, this is pretty motivating. Um, you're cut and dry, and I respect that, and I appreciate that. So
I'm not trying to be demotivating to you, right? Like
it
I'm not
was
trying
not
to
at all. It
discourage
was
you.
not at all demotivating.
I'm just
Trust me, it
telling
was
you,
not
like
at all.
if you don't go to the woods and you sign up for some shit, but there's no chance you're gonna make it, man. There's no chance. There's no chance, man. Like my girl went and spent 6 months in the woods. Another one I got, she was like, yo, I hate dirt under my fingernails. And she was like, I don't want to do it no more. I said, cool. What do you want to do? She said, I'm gonna go fly. I said, cool. That's the best thing I can give you is give you the resources to go find out what you want to do and keep you away from doing some shit that's going to get you stuck in some bullshit ass job, shipping paint on the ship, scrubbing toilets with a toothbrush in the Army because you wanted to be an Army Ranger or a Green Beret and you signed up for the enlisted program and you marched in there and you probably fell on your face, right? Mm-hmm. And that's why I say, like, the Army officer is the safest route you can go. Army infantry officer is the safest route because then you'll have 2-3 years to learn the Army, learn what it means, and then you'll know in a year and a half if this is what you really love. You can go do it again. Go Army Rangers, or you can go Green Berets. If you hella motivated, you could go try to select for CAG, but you'll know. Or you'll be like, yo, I'm ready to go be a doctor. Let me go do that. You know what I'm saying? Because everything else you talk about has a lot of peril in it, man. Air Force got a lot of peril. You go be an enlisted PJ, a lot of peril. You go be a Navy SEAL enlisted, tons of peril. You go try to be a Navy SEAL officer. That's not so much peril there. It's just a long ass process. You talking about you wouldn't even apply until 23. You go 23, 24. You wouldn't get there until maybe mid 24. Maybe. So that's a really long timeline or time frame for SEAL officer.
What did you mean by peril?
Like the chance of you being successful and not ending up on a ship.
Just failure?
No, I'm saying like you failing is really high, right? Like you go enlisted in the SEAL, like this is what people don't understand, man. Life, sometimes you got to hedge your bets, right? If you a crazy dude and you wrestled and you did all this crazy stuff growing up and you grew up in the backwoods of Tennessee hunting coons and running dogs all night, and that's what you want to do, then I'll be like, all right, cool. Like to me, that's got less of a chance of failing than a dude that's been studying his butt off to be a doctor in college right now, never been camping really, never spent a lot of time in the woods, doesn't know what it means to be wet, cold, and miserable for days on end. Okay. Doesn't know what it means to fall in a creek and have wet socks on for a whole day of hiking. That's the kind of stuff that it takes. Make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. I appreciate your honesty, and I'll take your advice. I'll try to go camping some and see if that.
I didn't say go camping some, did I?
You said go camping every Friday.
Yeah, every Friday or Saturday. Go out every day, every weekend. And if it's not enjoyable to you, you won't be able to do it. Like if you told me to go camping every weekend, I'd be like, hell yeah. Every day I'd be going out. Okay. But right now I got life going on. I'm trying to buy me a piece of land where I can go every weekend. I could go out to the woods. No cell phone service, nothing. Just me, my kids, a couple guns, and learning how to be in the country and be uncomfortable. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. You got any more questions, big dog? Give me a call.
All right. Thank you.
All right, folks. Hope you enjoyed that badass video we just put out. I got a lot of comments from everybody on my crazy video that we put out a couple days ago, talking about people's moms and dads. But hey, man, look, that's how I feel. You got a college degree and you trying to enlist. Hey, man, bad things, brother, bad things. So as always, man, smash the subscribe button, hit the like button, let them notifications go ding. And we'll see you next time. Until then, man, we building champions for life.